Council President, if you don't mind, I'd like to make a few comments before we begin with the public portion. So at the last council meeting, we heard comments from an individual whose words reached the darkest depths of hatred and anti-Semitism. It's troubling and very sad that any individual would think that this type of poisonous rhetoric would be acceptable anywhere, let alone in a public forum. It is not. If you want to have a conversation about flags, that's one thing. But as the City Council and I will never condone anyone spewing hateful rhetoric. Comments like those are disturbing, problematic, and harmful, and are certainly not consistent with our community values. Thank you.
Council President, if I can, just to follow up on what the mayor said, I often get asked the question why it is that you would allow that kind of comments to be made in a public meeting like this. And, you know, it's been said that the First Amendment is there not to protect you against people who say the things that you agree with. It's to protect the people who say things you don't agree with. So there's only so much we can do in terms of limiting speech, and certainly you can't limit speech based upon its content. Of course, you know, dangerous speech is a different subject, but in this circumstance, the public forum is for the public forum. We're required to have it by law, and you know, it's part of the process. So for those people out there who ask why it is that we can't just put an end to it, that's why there's a First Amendment, and that's why we don't. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate both of you making those comments. And let me then turn back to opening the public portion part of the meeting.
Go ahead. Because he was just talking about me. Sure. Go first.
I'm going to go first since you were clearly just addressing my speech 2 weeks ago. Good evening. My name is Jeffrey George Abraham Wallstein. I was born in Long Branch and now reside in Tinton Falls. 2 weeks ago, I spoke to this council concerning the Israeli flag display at Pier Village. I'm here tonight to publicly respond to the comments made by Mayor Pallone following my speech, which you can all rewatch for yourself on YouTube. 2 weeks ago, I accused the mayor of using the police department to intimidate me. Mayor Pallone responded by saying, and I quote, "The police department was concerned about your actions and your behaviors." Sir, there was nothing concerning about my actions or behaviors at the August 13th meeting. I spoke to this council politely and professionally and presented nothing but legal arguments. No part of my speech was disrespectful or anti-Semitic. The very next day, I received a phone call from Lieutenant Michael Decker of the Long Branch Police Department, which I recorded. And he claimed he was calling me because he had heard I had a question for the mayor. He said nothing about my speech to the council or my behavior. And I thought it was incredibly weird that the police department was calling me to see if I had a question for the mayor. That explanation made no sense at all. Mayor Pallone then said, "You also left me a disgusting voicemail, which I don't appreciate, and you were rude, loud, and obnoxious to my assistant." Sir, the voicemail I left you came only after the police called me, not before. I was absolutely appalled that you would misuse police resources to try and intimidate me for my protected speech. As for your assistant, she was rude and unprofessional, and instead of doing her job, she condescendingly laughed at me over the phone. Mayor Pallone, you then went on to call me disgusting based on my August 13th speech to the council. But sir, there was nothing disgusting about anything I said to the council on August 13th. It's all documented on video. I was professional and articulate and stuck to making legal arguments which you so cowardly chose to ignore. Mayor Pallone then went on to say regarding the disproportionate number of Israeli flags flying at Pier Village, "I am proud of our diverse and welcoming nature of this city. A few council meetings ago, as I said, he made statements as a member of the public that can only be categorized as biased hate speech, also anti-Semitic. So I want to be clear, there's no place in our community for hate speech of any kind." Sir, first of all, the 6 Israeli flags at Pier Village is the antithesis of diversity. If this was actually about diversity, wouldn't there have to be more than just Israeli flags? There are 7 flagpoles. If this was about diversity, I would think along with an Israeli and an American flag, maybe you would have an Italian flag, a Mexican flag, a Brazilian flag, a Portuguese flag, or maybe even an African flag. That would properly represent the diversity of the city of Long Branch. 6 Israeli flags alongside 1 American flag cannot be classified as diversity. You're treating the public like we're stupid, and everybody sees through it. Second of all, nothing I said at the August 13th council meeting was inappropriate or anti-Semitic, as proven by the video record. Third of all, there is no legal definition of hate speech. Hate speech does not exist in this country. This is America, not Canada. There is only protected free speech. It's very concerning to me that you don't understand the laws of this country, specifically the First Amendment. You needed the city attorney to put you in check just a few minutes ago. Lastly, accusing me of being anti-Semitic is comical. I am half Jewish and half Lebanese. I am fully Semitic. My last name is Wallstein, for crying out loud. My family is Jewish. The term anti-Semite has become completely overused. I remember when it was a term used for people who didn't like Jews. Now it's a term used for anybody who the Jews want to silence and discredit. It doesn't work anymore. People can see through it. Mayor Pallone then said, "This council and I denounce this in the strongest possible terms. The council and administration are committed to fostering a city where people of all backgrounds and beliefs can live free from fear, prejudice, and hate. And this is an example of something we're not going to tolerate." Sir, you clearly don't believe that. You don't believe that Palestinians, Arabs, people of Middle Eastern descent, or any other people with anti-Zionist beliefs deserve the same freedom from prejudice and hate that you claim to protect the city from. You're a blatant hypocrite. I would also like to I want you to elaborate on what you meant by "we will not tolerate." Because as it stands now, I can only take those words as some sort of threat against me for my First Amendment protected speech. So in response to your ignorant and defamatory comments, I'd like to gift everybody on the council.
Whoa. Go back.
I can't approach?
No.
Here are copies of the Constitution with letters of intent to sue Mayor Pallone. They're one for each and every one of you, including the city attorney. Please take one. Don't take my threat as an empty threat. It's a real lawsuit. 42 U.S.C. 1983 federal lawsuit will be filed.
Time is up. Thank you. Would you like to?
I'm sorry. I just want to make one comment, and that comment is that I stand by every single thing that I said. And if you remember, sir, 2 weeks ago, what I said was I did not know that the police had called you. Okay? So again, I will not speak to you anymore. Okay? Thank you.
Are you going to get sued?
Okay, sir.
You're going to get sued. And the city
Sir, please stop. Please stop talking now. And let's move forward.